Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
A day one starter his rookie year. He also won a whole lot of games as well. First 5 years, the Bengals went to the playoffs each and every year. Continues to evolve as a quarterback, learning how to work around a running game, an offensive line, and receivers that continue to develop.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out wide they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top over the defense with his speed and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
On second down, here's Mixon. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And here is the Cardinal defense.
It's easy to talk about Patrick Peterson because you can be definitive about his game. Tremendous against the run because he's an excellent tackler. Can run with anyone because of his speed. Has the size to play the football downfield extremely well. And then you throw in his kick return ability, you have one of the top corners in the NFL year in and year out.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton, and that is incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. This is taken at the 23. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw on second down. Murray. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go now.
Here's Murray. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. He's going to wind up and air it out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Murray. And this is going to be incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Able to power through. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Dalton bootlegs out. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough Just bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Mixon with a first down carry. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And able to find Green. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, 30 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Needed 13. They got 14 on 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on third down. Murray. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Murray now. He fights him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To throw on second down. Murray. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. It's second down. Dalton looking. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block it.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Play action here with Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now let's go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down.
All right, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, here we go.
To throw again, Murray. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Geno Atkins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Leopard! Here we go now.
On first down, Murray. And this is incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 3rd down. Dalton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. They go play action here on first down. Green's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll start by running the option to the right. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Flushed out right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, but the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. That coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it here with Logan. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
From the gun, Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. The Steelers looking to get off to a hot start, and a road win would help them do just that. From there, let's head down the West Coast to Oakland to check on the Raiders. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. The Bears looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. The Skins looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. In the game you're watching, it's been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. His guys are out in front as we send you back out to Glendale and hook up once again with Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and walk
through an opening, and there he goes. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On the carry, it's Logan. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. he did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 30.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Off the bootleg, Murray. And that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. It's their quarterback with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Dalton. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And that is incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. throwing on first down. Murray. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route, going for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This is Logan. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this...
And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Pulled in at the 24. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
No. Check. Patriot.
On 1st and 10. Murray. James has got it. Complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. Murray Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. Down to the 25. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
On 3rd and 2, Murray. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs.
Here we go now. Boom.
From the gun, Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead becomes 4 now, 14-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on a return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Bruce Irvin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Left side, it's Dorsett. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now let's go!
On 3rd down, Murray. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Fielded just inside the 20. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep
under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll power his way up near the 25. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Airing one out for Boyd. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Dalton now to pass. And this is caught at the 8. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 17-14. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Andrew Billings busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Murray. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Colts, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, mix it. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And getting this just shy of midfield, is spotted at the 49. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened.
I do get a kick out of seeing a team kneel down at the end of the game in victory formation and wrap one up, because most of the time a kneel down is not a good thing in football. In this case, it's the best thing for the team that's winning.
Best thing week 1 and 1-0 after going down to that knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Cincinnati, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.